Man, the new graphics are dope. I like the new graphics.
Cute.
The new graphics. I gotta tell you a funny story. I already told KP. I gotta tell you a funny story though. When I made it, uh, might disappear. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the 19th episode of the Cabrini Kid podcast. I'm your host, the champ, David Haywood, the Cabrini Kid himself. I have my lovely, distinguished, debonair and demure hosts with me again for another Wednesday. We got KP. Say what's up to the people. And then Kadriana, we got again joining us. How are you? How are you?
How come my intro wasn't like KP's?
Well, I said debonair and demure. You're the demure one.
I thought that was all KP. I was like, dang.
Nah, he's debonair. You're the demure one.
Hi, everyone.
Okay, so today, before we start, I want to say like, share, subscribe to the podcast. Also, call the number, because if you call the number, there is a prize on the back of this card here. It says, I don't know if y'all can see it.
Can't see it.
Oh, there's a prize here on the back of the card. Y'all can't see it, but there's a prize here. So the first person that calls in gets this prize. Okay, so call in, get the prize. Like, subscribe, share. Okay. In Geneva, you cannot call in. So today we got a great topic for y'all. We're going to talk about 50-50 culture. And 50-50 culture is something that came about, I want to say maybe it started gaining a lot of traction within the last probably 3 years or so, where I feel like men required or were asking women to go halfsies on the household. We're going to kick it off. Kadriana, what do you think about going half on your household with a man?
I won't do it. I just won't do it. Especially if this man, if he's expecting me to grow the family and we're gonna have kids and stuff. I personally don't think a man who has to go 50-50 in the household is ready to have a family.
Now, who said he have to go 50-50? He's just asking you to go 50-50.
But why? I feel like he should be able to cover everything on his own, because what if I have a baby and this has happened to me and I get put on bed rest and he needed me to go halvesies to keep the family going? No. It's a no for me. What about you, KP? Are you a 50-50 guy?
Yeah. So I got some questions. So are you saying that I think it depends on the scenario. But I'm going to go back to you. If you're married, I think it's different comparatively if it's just a girlfriend, or if it's just a girl you're dating, which I know you're probably like, why are you living with someone you're dating? But clearly, everyone knows someone that has done it before.
It happens.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think it's a different scenario. I'm not gonna hold you. I just saw some stuff like this on Instagram, and I think the thing was like the woman would go to the man, and it was all black couples, and You saw that one?
I did.
And they would go to the man and say, hey, honey, I don't think I'm going to be able to pay this month's mortgage. And they all looked at their wife and said, what you mean? Like, whenever you ever paid anything on the mortgage? So I think that, yeah, I mean, as a man, I think if you're married, I think you should take care of the mortgage and things of that nature. But if your
Things
wife
of that nature is a lot of things.
If your wife isn't now, if she isn't bringing anything to the table, like when I say to the table, I mean, forget, oh, I'm going to make you kids.
Well, what does she have to bring to the table?
She's not working.
And this is your girlfriend or your wife?
Brian says traditional wife better than 50-50.
I agree.
Is a traditional wife is the man who pays for everything?
Yeah. So in like a lot of traditional, cultures and stuff, the man is the provider. And
shout out to Brian.
Yeah.
Hey, Brian, shout out to you, bro. But it's 2024. Hey, the divorce rate is probably at an all-time high right now, bro. There's a lot.
So the traditional values is at an all-time low.
Oh, 1,000%.
So maybe there's a correlation there.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. So nowadays, unfortunately, that's not how the cookie crumbles nowadays.
But there are some people. So for me, I have only ever had one guy ever expect 50-50. And I know that a lot of guys are not about that, and that's okay. They're just not for me, and I'm not the person for them. But there are surprisingly a lot of people who still do value that traditional, like the guy provides 100% type relationship, even in the dating relationships.
Okay,
but let me interject. But the guys who are valuing that, and I'm getting to that. The guys who value that in today's society, where they are still traditional, mm-hmm. but women are not, doesn't that seem like an issue?
Yeah, but you're not going to go 100% for a woman that's not traditional. She's for the streets. She's not, like, it's different. It's the same with, like, you're not going to remember we talked about this. You don't do wifey stuff and be that person for somebody who's not husband material at all. I'm just saying, I think that.
Okay, so wait. So discount, like the marriage thing, I am in agreement with you. Mm-hmm. Still to some extent. But if we're talking about dating, not fiance, we're talking about dating, and you think the man should still pay everything?
Not my bills. Like, I pay my own bills. I have my own place. But if we go on a date, if I have to go 50-50 with you, you just got friend zoned, because I only go 50-50 with my friends. It's not a date at that point.
She said you just got friend zoned.
Yo, you gotta be giving up the cakes.
No.
I mean, that's guaranteed. But I think my question is, like, let's say your mortgage is $1,000. Mm-hmm. He says, I'll pay the mortgage, $1,000. Mm-hmm. But you buy all the groceries and you pay all the utilities, and that comes out to $1,000. You don't feel like that's fair?
Yeah, I think that's okay. But as far as like the major stuff, I think the guy should be able to cover. He should be able to keep the whole house going without needing her.
But you need him.
No, I don't. Not me personally.
Then why is he paying for everything then?
I don't need him, and he doesn't need me. But that's just part of a man being able to show like that he can be a provider. And
I don't agree with that. I don't agree that I have to show you that I'm a provider by paying everything for you. I can show you that I'm a provider in a multitude of ways. But
yeah, why is it just attributed to financial contribution?
No, we're just talking about the 50-50 and the finances. That's what we were talking about. And
but that's all. But that's it.
No, because you're not like, for me, I also make money. So when I go out, like if I want to treat my guy every now and then, or if I buy stuff for the house,
that's crazy. Every
I'm
now and again,
every date. I'm not gonna like pull out my. Some men find that to be insulting. I have tried to pay on dates, and they were offended because they're like, that's disrespectful to me as a man. There are men out there who do not want a woman pulling out her wallet on dates. That's embarrassing to them.
Hey,
Just saying.
Okay,
and I've heard that. I have heard that.
I've never heard that. Maybe I have, maybe I haven't, and maybe there are men that are like that.
I've never heard a guy say it. I've heard that from women.
Yeah, I've had guys say it because
I've never like KP. That's my guy. Like, you know, my other guys. Like, I've never heard them say she pulled out her wallet and I about lost my mind because I was so offended. I've never heard a guy say that.
Oh, I've had a guy tell me, no, don't offend me. And
no, they will.
Culturally, it's just different.
They're not going to tell. He's not going to tell his boys. He's not going to tell his boys.
No, he's not going to tell you guys that.
So that's what I'm saying. I've never heard a dude say, bro, just like David said, I've never heard a dude say, man, I was on a date with this girl and she put out her check and I was like, I'm so insulted. Don't do that. So if there are dudes out there that do that, then I mean, by all means, a lot of dudes, I think they say that because they think it's a flex. Oh, you would never have to pay when you're around with me.
But they do it though.
I will do it. Yeah, because we call those
he's
dudes
prepared to pay it.
What do you call those dudes?
Yeah, you know what we call those dudes. Yeah.
But that's what women want. Any woman that tells you otherwise,
no, they don't.
That's because she's been in situations where she's always had to pull out her wallet. I don't care what any woman says. If you ask every one of your girlfriends, would you rather a guy pay for the dates and wine and dine you? They're all gonna say yes. That's what we want.
But I honestly would venture to say
she's right.
I would honestly venture to say at the end of the day, that's not what they want. Because and hear me out. I'm just postulating. If you give her everything and she doesn't have to work for it, she's not going to value it. Right? If every dude in her life just pays for everything, she's not going to value any of it. So when she meets a guy who's like, hey, I got the last 2 days, you want to get this one? She's going to be like, oh, it's new to her. She's going to bristle up at it. Or she might say, you know what? He did get the last couple of days, so I'm going to get this one. Right? Now she's a little bit more invested because he's different than the other dudes that she's been with. So I think that there's something to be said for kind of bucking that trend. Like KP said, like, of course, every dude's it's a flex to say, put your card away. You're not going to pay when you're around me. It's a flex to say that. But if she does pay, it's different than the other situations she's been in because they didn't let her.
I disagree because like I said, I've had most guys have always just paid but it's not like I don't do stuff. I'm a very giving person. So I'm giving in other ways. I do gift a lot and stuff like that. And I take care of my man.
Okay. Now we're talking. The
guy that made me go 50-50, I looked at him as like, oof. And it was kind of like,
oh my God, girl, please.
No, I did. I didn't respect him as a man because it caught me off guard. And I was just like, okay.
Was it the first date?
No. But he had did it multiple times. And so it became a habit. And it was just like, it was new to me because I hadn't had it, and then I didn't enjoy it. I didn't like it. I felt like I started looking at him differently, and I didn't look at him as masculine as some of the other guys that I dated. And so that's when I was like, oof.
Don't say that.
This is a friend zone.
So do you feel like you subconsciously tied his masculinity to his willingness to pay for everything?
He wasn't even hitting 50%. I was covering. I felt like I was the boyfriend. I covered more. Like he would pull that. I forgot my wallet. It was just, ugh. It gave me the ick.
Yeah, I forgot my wallet as well, but
I don't know. There's something about a guy who makes plans, who makes reservations, and then who has it.
Brian said, if a man isn't providing and protecting, what's he bringing to the table? Just as women have their contributions too.
I agree.
And that's 100% true. I mean, I think that we can look at providing and protecting in different ways. I think there's levels to it.
For sure.
It's not always just financial, but that kind of goes back to what we talked about a couple episodes ago, where I was like, men and women come into a relationship with different pressures on them.
Mm-hmm.
Men come into a relationship with the pressure of protect, provide, pay for everything. Right, wrong, or indifferent.
Mm-hmm.
Protect, provide, pay for everything. Women come into the relationship with the pressure of take care of yourself.
No. If
what
you're a good partner, you're nurturing your partner. You're there. Like, if you're good to your partner, he's going to be great. And the same with if he's good to you, she's going to be great. We do a lot more than just take care of ourselves.
But we're talking about tangible things. Like, tangibly, what else is a woman expected to come into a relationship with?
I come to relationships with everything. Like, when I come to the relationships, I can provide for myself. I can do all of the stuff that he has. So that's why I choose to be single a lot of times, because what is he bringing to me? Like, how is he benefiting my life? Women, I feel like we bring more benefit to men's life than men bring to our life.
That's the crux of the problem right there.
I do believe it.
That's the crux of the problem right there.
We can bring so much. Can you have a kid without us? No. We create life. We can nurture that life with our own bodies. We make a house into a home. And then if you add somebody who can provide for themselves as well, then what is the guy doing? What is the guy doing? He's just an ATM at that point. So that's like the bare minimum. That's the basics.
And you guys
like, you don't think that a guy, that's the basics for being a man in the relationship.
If you're leading with, well, we can have kids, a lot of guys don't even want to have kids. So that's not like a standard across the board for every guy. A lot of guys don't even want to have kids. I've never heard KP say anything about children.
Nope.
KP's young. KP, how old are you?
We don't talk about that on the pod.
Okay. He's not there yet.
He's still young. He's still young enough to make up his mind, but he's never said anything about, like, I can't wait to have a son. I'm gonna name him Keinon, and we're gonna go to baseball games. Like, he's never made that statement. And I've known KP probably since 2010, 2011, 2012. I've known him a long time. So
I've been in Arizona since 14.
Oh,
so I've been here 11 years. So about 11 years, about 10, 11 years.
So I don't know if that's a draw for every guy.
So then Let me ask you, and KP, so when you say bring it to the table, what are you expecting your female to bring to the table? Besides, obviously, you expect 50-50 in the bills unless you're married. What are you expecting her to bring to the table?
So what I'm asking is, if you are talking about, like, what are you doing while I'm paying for everything? What are you doing with your money?
We're probably paying for vacations, anything around the house that needs done. We're not talking about marriage.
We're not talking about marriage.
I did the same thing when I was dating somebody, and he paid like, we were renting, he paid the rent, and I got all the groceries, and he paid the utilities, because he said, I'm a grown man, so I'd be paying for this anyways. And so he would just take care of that. Anything that needed done around the house, or if we went out shopping, I didn't mind paying for stuff like that.
Okay, perfect. Okay, stop there for a second.
I know you're going to say, well, you're a grown woman.
No, wait. So, wait. No, I'm not going to say that. So he said what? What did you say he said?
He was going to need a place to stay anyway. So
and
he was like, why would I need your money to pay my rent? Why would I need your money? He was going
to pay for it anyway, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's stop right there. So, excuse me. He loses his job. You're living with him. He can't afford those bills. Are you about to start paying the rent and start paying the bills?
Yes, because that's my man. And if he's down, I'm going to help him during that time. But he's going to get back up on his feet. And then
so then my question is, if you will help him while he's down, why can't you help him level up even more to add more money by paying half to what
when he's not down?
When he's not down.
Because in my world, a guy who needs me to keep him afloat, that's just not the type of guy that I want.
He doesn't need you. Just like he said, if you weren't there, he would pay for it himself.
I'm telling you, any guy that does not need a woman to pay 50-50 is not going to take a female, is not going to expect her to come and bring 50%. He's just not.
If you're living in my house, you're paying 50-50.
That's you. And that's what I'm saying, to each their own. But I'm telling you, there are a ton of men out there, and women can tell you that there are.
Okay, hold on. So you're dating a guy, right?
Oh my God.
You're dating a guy. You're dating a guy. You're paying all your rent, all your stuff, on your own, right? Okay. He moves in with you, right? Do you expect him to pay 50-50 of all of your bills? When he moves, he was in a tough spot. He was like, hey, I need a place to stay for 6 to 8 months. I got a job, but do you expect for him to pay anything on anything while he's living with you?
He can't afford it.
He can afford maybe $100 a month, maybe.
Then that's what he'll do. And so
otherwise, he's sitting on your couch every single day playing Call of Duty and eating Oreos and not doing anything around the house.
No.
Are you going to stay with this person?
No.
So, but like, what if he says, like this is my place just as much as it is yours?
No. But that's the thing. When I'm coming to a relationship and the guy is paying, I'm not sitting on the couch eating bonbons.
What are you doing then?
I'm working.
Okay, so you never said you weren't working. So you're working.
I'm working and I'm making money. That's why I don't worry about it. If he gets in a hard time, I know I can cover it. I got it. But he's going to get back on his feet. Because I'm going to make sure of it.
I just think, to me, and this is just, like I said, we're going to agree to disagree. I just think that's very selfish of a person to be stacking money while someone is like minimizing their money when you can easily. It's some dudes, and I'll tell you, this may sound, here's the kind of dude that I am, and I'm going to be bluntly honest with you. I don't mind paying, but damn, it feels good as a man. I'm speaking from in 2024, not someone who's fucking 65 years old, and I'm not a millionaire. I'm not anything like that, but it feels good when a girl says, don't worry about it, I got this one. Even if you say no and you still pay, that shows me that you are, again, like David said, that you are invested in this. Otherwise, I'm just speaking for myself. Eventually, I'm going to feel resentful if I'm paying. And then on the other end, if I'm not getting what I want on the other end, whether that is proper communication, whether that is TLC.
He said,
you know, if I don't feel appreciated, then I'm going to start to resent the fact that I'm sitting here being a dinner daddy and I'm not getting anything in return, because at the end of the day, unfortunately, everything's transactional.
And as a woman in 2024, where most men are sitting heavy in their feminine energy, it feels really good.
There we go. There we go.
I got it.
There we go.
In your feminine energy, I got it. Don't worry about
it.
One of those. Here we go.
So let me ask this question. So, do you think that there is a difference in mentality with men when there's certain guys who know they have to pay for it, and there's certain guys who know they don't have to pay for it? They can command, you have to invest X, Y, Z into this relationship. And the girl will do it, woman will do it, because she knows that he's a certain caliber of guy. But there are also men who know that the only way that I can get Kadriana to date me is if I pay for everything.
Oh no, that's definitely not what I'm saying.
No, I'm asking, does that play a part in the two mentalities? Does that play a part? Because you said there are guys out there who say, I'm traditional, I'm going to do all these things. So does that also mean that there are guys out there who are like, this is the only way that I'm going to get this top-notch, grade A,
I'm sure,
perfect 10 woman is the only way I'm getting this is if I pay for everything?
I'm sure there are guys who think that, but you can always tell it's more than just the money. Like for me, I value traditional values. Like it's more than just the money. There's a whole list of other things that comes with a guy. And just because a guy's like, I'll pay, I can pay for my own meal. I don't need a guy just because he can pay. But when I do go out with a guy on a date, I would like for him to.
Those guys step to the front of the line.
Yeah.
But it's the same thing when I don't ever go on a date with the expectation that they're going to pay. I will never go out if I don't have my own money. I don't order anything on the menu that I couldn't pay for myself. So I never expect it. I'm always prepared to pull out my card and pay, and I'll pay for both of us if I have to, but I don't expect it. I prefer it.
Yeah.
I think that I saw once. So one time on Instagram, I saw a meme, and it said, I think a guy walked up to a girl and he goes, I would like to buy you a drink. What would you like? And she said, I would like a shot of Louis. And he said, what would you like to drink if you were paying for it?
Yeah, right.
So saying, oh, I can pay for my own food if he's not going to pay for it is one thing, as opposed to I wouldn't, if you were paying for it, you may not even pick to go to Mastro's tonight. We might be at Chili's if you're paying for it, because not saying that's what your budget is, but that's what you felt like paying for that night.
See, I don't think you should go anywhere that you wouldn't normally be able to budget. Like, I don't think don't take me to a 5-star restaurant if that's just not in your budget. Don't do that to yourself. And the same with the woman. If you're discussing dates, don't have him take you somewhere you could not afford yourself. Just don't. Because then you're embarrassing yourself. You're embarrassing him. If the bill comes and you're getting mad because he's making you go 50-50. It's tacky.
There's no, I don't think there's a quote unquote making you go 50-50. Like you're making it sound like.
Well, if you're on a date and the guy tells the waitress, split this. I've seen a lot of videos where the women get visibly upset because they were expecting him to pay all of it. Don't put yourself in that situation.
There you go, Brian. Now you're talking reasonably, Brian.
Brian
There you
said
go.
a man is only going to do that for a woman worthy of it who will support him in other ways.
I agree. But that's what I'm saying. You're not going to do that for every woman.
Not a fair weather woman who's only there for a few dinner dates.
For you to be a dinner daddy.
Yeah.
But you can tell. Just how we can tell if a guy's just trying, I'll pay for you, but there's nothing else going on. You can tell who's there for the free meal.
You are too.
But I feel like
what'd you say?
I say you are too. You're there for the free meal too.
I'm not for the free meal because I could pay for myself. I can afford it.
That don't matter.
It does matter.
If you can afford it, then why don't you pay for your man? If you can afford it, then why don't you pay for your man sometime?
She's saying it's the principle. It's the principle.
I'll pay for it. It's
right,
not
but what about the principle of it's okay to take care of your man as well?
So you need a woman to take care of you monetarily. I'm just saying I don't date men who need me to take care of them monetarily.
But you need a man to take care of you monetarily.
I don't need a man to take care
just
of me.
Just like I wouldn't need a woman to take. So what do you? So I don't understand.
So if
what she's saying, I think what Kadriana is saying is, I don't need a man to take care of me because I can afford to do the things that we're going to do together anyway.
Yeah.
And KP, I feel like what you're saying is if that's the case,
then
chip in sometimes. But because we have had this conversation about
we'll be friends.
But the dude can do the same things on his own by himself too. That just because he doesn't want to pay for you or doesn't, I don't.
Geneva said, I would purposely pay for dates so they can't shove it in my face if the relationship doesn't work out.
So a guy who does that, that's so trashy. That
I don't know. Man.
They shove it in like.
Hey, normal guys out here, we got it rough. Hey, sugar daddy's watching. Kadriana, hit Kadriana up. Hit Kadriana up.
I don't like. I've been on dates that never turned into anything, and paid and didn't feel some kind of way about it
because you weren't expecting anything in return. That's the big difference.
Well, I mean, I was, but I wasn't mad because I didn't spend like an exorbitant amount of money, right? I feel like as a guy, and this might just be me, I might be different from KP, but I expect to go, if we're going to go out and we're in day 2, I'm expecting to at least pay for the first 2 dates, right? I might pay for the third one, but it would be nice to hear, to KP's point, it would be nice to hear for the girl to say, you know what, you got the first 2, I'll get this third one. Like, it would be nice for her to say that. Now, whether I let her do that or not depends on the situation. But I, as a guy, I'm already expecting to pay for at least the first 2. Mm-hmm. Now, obviously, depending on the progression of the relationship and other factors, determines on how much further it's going to go from there. But I can definitely attest to that it's refreshing as a guy to hear a woman say, babe, you got the last couple, I'll get this one. Or if she says, last time we were out driving, you bought gas, I'm gonna get gas this time. Mm-hmm. Or you cooked dinner yesterday, I'm gonna cook dinner today. Like, it's refreshing to hear that and to see that that investment, and it's not always monetary, right? A lot of it is just effort when it comes down to it. It doesn't have to be monetary, but when we're talking about going 50-50 specifically on financial things, if you're like in a relationship with somebody and they say, hey, the mortgage is $1,000. You got 500 this month. Or I spent $100 on groceries. You want to get the next grocery run?
Mm-hmm.
I would feel bad as a man asking. I would feel worse if she didn't offer.
Okay. And I see, because like for me, I think KP's misunderstanding. No.
I think she would. She would do it.
If I'm casually dating you, I'm not paying for dates. But if we're in a relationship, we live together, you're not going to have to ask me. If I see that there's groceries, and I do it by myself, I'm going to get groceries. If I see that we have a bill, whatever, I'm just going to pay it. So it's not an issue. I'm not expecting, if I'm not going to hoard all my money and just have him pay for everything. I do pay for stuff. But when I'm dating somebody, I'm not going 50-50 with the guy that I am dating to get to know. I just am not.
So let me ask you this question. If you're in a relationship and let's say Christmas comes up, we're about to come up on Christmas, a couple weeks away, and he spends $5,000 on you for Christmas. Let's just say somehow you knew before Christmas came how much he spent. He went out and got you, I don't know, some skis and some other stuff, blah blah blah. But you knew about it, and it came out to $5,000. Would you say, you know what? Let me go out and spend round about the same amount on him.
Yes, because I'm not going to look stupid on Christmas Day. Yes. I'm going to add up $5,000 and we're going to be even. Yes, that's happened to me before. Yes, I am going to match it.
Yeah, she's somehow going to get his card and put it on his card. And he's going to be buying his own gift or something like that.
Now, KP, same question. If you were in that situation and she went out and spent $5,000 on you, do you feel like, I don't want to say obligation, I feel like that's not the right word, but an inclination to go out and spend the same amount on her that she spent on you?
I would, but I wouldn't feel the inclination to. And I think that I would know my female enough to know what kind of gift that would mean more valuable to her than something that was of monetary value or of a monetary amount.
So you would go, I don't want to say you skimping out, but so you.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
She just spent $5,000 on you, and you said, "Well, let me go see if her favorite flowers are on sale."
No, not something flowers, but it would, like, I would know my girl enough to where even if I didn't spend $5,000, whatever I spent on her would be way more than what she ever spent out.
Geneva said, "Oh, get the fuck out of here! I want that $5,000 gift." Not some arts and crafts.
No, it wouldn't be. It wouldn't be no arts and crafts.
Now, KP, you talked about resentment and not getting what you felt like was equal effort in a relationship. Do you feel like you're at a point emotionally in your emotional intelligence journey? Do you feel like you're at a point where you can communicate like, you know what, I'm starting to feel some kind of way about you not doing certain things to the level that I expect?
1,000%. 1,000%. I think that again, I may over.
Ryan said, "KP backpedaling."
What are you talking about, man? What are you talking about? Oh, God. I thought 1,000%. 1,000%. I think that damn, Ryan caught me up for a second there. I forgot what we were talking about there for a second. What was the question?
Do you feel like you could effectively communicate that you were
Oh,
feeling
yeah.
resentment toward her not meeting that expectation?
Yeah, 100%. I think that I would definitely be able to communicate that. I think for me, and this is just me personally, I think that I'm a very effective communicator in the quote unquote talking stage. To I know my expectations. I want to know their expectations as well as I let them know my expectations. So I think that if it got further into the relationship, I think a lot of those issues that we may come across may not come across because those issues were discussed in the early stages of the courtship or talking stages or whatever you want to call it.
Now, what if she said, what if you came to her and said, you know what, I'm feeling some resentment toward you because I feel like some of your actions haven't been um, up to par. And she says, nah, I do other things in a relationship that you're not taking into consideration. And she says, I walk the dogs, I unload the dishwasher, I wash your clothes. So yeah, you spend $5,000 on me for Christmas, but I do other things around here where I feel like I don't have to.
Um, I, I would then I would go to my laptop. I would go to my email. I would draft up a 30-day notice. Oh man.
Kadriana, do you feel like there is, and I feel like I know your answer to this question, but do you feel like there is a substitute for monetary investment in a relationship? Because if we're being honest, like relationships cost money. Like you have to invest money into a relationship. But do you feel like there is an equivalent in from a woman's perspective? Do you feel like there's an equivalent to the monetary investment the guy is making by doing other things?
Oh, absolutely. Me being his piece, me like nurturing him, me emotionally being there, and then other stuff like around the house, like that I could. KP, all of that stuff. I think it's equal. It's give or take. It's give or take. The same way, if I had a guy and he wasn't working, he didn't have money, whatever, and he's on my couch, I would expect for him to at least like make me dinner every now and then, like walk the dog, be my piece, don't start drama, like just help me with my stuff. Just there's other things that he could do and still be contributing just as much.
Would you think of him as highly?
It depends on how well he was doing those things. Like if he was half-assing it, no.
Brian said booty on top. Ring the bell. Which could go both ways.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah. She could ring the bell and need to.
Yeah, and if he's not, putting out, we might have some issues too. So
like you're not working and you're not putting out.
Exactly. Like pick a struggle.
So would you be a professional while he be a stay-at-home dad?
No, I want to be with the kids. No.
Do you consider yourself a traditional woman?
Yeah, I do.
Because I feel like a lot of women subscribe to traditional mindsets, but their lives are not traditional.
Oh, I do think I'm a very traditional woman in every area of my life. I would
Okay.
say.
Because I think that an issue a lot of men have, and me and my cousin, shout out to Darius, Money for Show, if you look him up on Instagram. Me and him had a very in-depth conversation, and he said something that was actually a Bible verse. It said, "He who finds a wife finds a good thing." And I don't know the exact scripture, but that basically was what the scripture said. He who finds a wife finds a good thing. Not he who finds a woman and converts her into a wife.
Yeah.
He who finds a girl and saves her from the streets. And like, that's not what it says. It says he who finds a wife. So it's you finding a woman who's already a wife or wifely is a good thing. And that's why I think it was maybe like 2 episodes ago we talked about that. Like, do you feel like there's different levels to you as a dating individual? Is everybody getting the wife treatment, or do you reserve that for certain options who present themselves that way?
So I think we discussed this. I did when I was younger. Everybody got that treatment until I saw that you just cannot give, just like how every woman is not a wife, every man is not a husband. And so then I learned very quickly that you cannot give that to everybody. So now I reserve that for when I am in an exclusive relationship with somebody. They do get the wife treatment.
And until then, they get what?
They still get a very similar version, but I'm just not, I don't go above and beyond as much as I do when I'm dating somebody exclusively. So I do invest a lot in my partner when I'm with them, but I just don't do that for everybody. Everybody's not, you can't do that for everybody when you're getting to know them. So I do understand KP, and I do understand where you guys are saying like the 50-50, because I mean, I've seen videos. Not every woman conducts themselves in the same manner. And so I do think, what do they say? You can't change a hoe into a housewife or something like that. So I do think that, but it's the same for men. You can't just give everybody the wifey treatment and then
You can't make a man into a husband.
Yeah.
KP, do you think that right now, do you think you're husband material?
No. No.
At least he's honest. At least he's honest.
At least he know. At least he.
Yeah, man.
He's under no misconceptions about.
No.
What do you feel like is missing from you right now? That was
everything. I'm not in the. I mean, I'll never say never, but I'm not in the mindset of ever getting married. Me personally, I would love a life partner like a Kurt Russell and whatever, Kurt Russell and Goldie Hawn type of deal, where they've been together
you just want to be a boyfriend for 60 years.
No. Yeah. That's hilarious. But no, I don't. Again, never say never, but I don't see myself ever getting married. So, and it's not that I don't think that I could be husband material. It's the fact that I think that it's really it's hard out here. It's hard out here to even date. So to get to that particular point would take someone unbelievable to take me off that pivot.
I'm single right now, and for you to change that, you're gonna have to be amazing. It's not like a Sex in the City quote. Kadriana, let me ask you this question. Would you ever propose to a man?
No. Oh no.
Just
I get
so
so
offended.
mad when I see women in those videos doing that. Like I'm always like, get up, get up.
Get up, get up. Does that make me ill?
What what is it about proposing to a man that offends you?
Everything. There are some things that I think we have to let men be men and do, and that is one of them. Because have you seen those videos when you see the guy and you read the body language, they usually go along with it because they don't want to embarrass their girlfriend, but you could tell it's emasculating to me. I would not do that.
I mean, some women do that.
Yeah, but it's just I don't agree with it. I will never ever propose to a man ever. I'll be single forever I'll never do that. Never getting on a knee.
So if you're in a relationship with a guy and you're like, I love him, I would drink this dude's bathwater. I love this man dirty draws. I can't wait for him to get home every day and give me a hug. I love everything about this man. I know I want to spend the rest of my life with him, but he haven't asked me yet, so I'm gonna just wait.
I'm gonna keep loving him while we wait, and then eventually, once I get tired of waiting, then we'll either move on or do our thing. But I'm not gonna propose to him. And I feel like that needs to be a man needs to take that initiative. I'm not proposing to him.
Do you think that there has to be a conversation had before that moment is taken?
Yeah. I think it should be discussed because I think neither person should ever propose without really knowing where that person lies on that. Because I've seen different things. I've heard stories of friends where the girl will just like really egg it, and then the guy will kind of like half-ass do it, and you could tell he just did it because he felt pressured. It needs to be discussed, and you need to both be on the same page about it.
Yeah, but don't you feel like he felt pressured because they talked about it? It wasn't a surprise to her. She said, "Hey, in 2 years we're getting engaged." So he knew the clock was already running.
No, you don't set timers, but it needs to be discussed. Like, hey, is marriage something you want? And that's where you have those discussions, because if one person's like, I don't want to be married, and the other person wants to be married, don't propose to the person. It's not going to happen. And then you're setting yourself up for heartbreak, where I think the discussion needs to be, hey, where do you stand on this? You discuss it. But as far as hounding the guy or the girl, I don't think that's healthy.
Hmm. KP, if a girl proposed to you, love of your life, said, "You it, baby."
Oh no! Hey, low key, man, I think that shit was hot.
KP is 100% a new age man. 100%.
Here's what my honest opinion is. I'm gonna be real with you. I would think it would be super hot, but then I would turn around and propose to her again, to be bluntly honest with you.
Why? You're already engaged.
But still, I want to give her that feeling as well. So if she proposed to me, and granted, I'd probably be shocked. I think that it would be super hot for me. I love when a woman takes initiative on anything, whether that is sex, whether that is if she proposed to me, whether that is whatever. But I would turn back around and do the invite the family and propose to her again, so her family and my family could also get that experience as well. And we can also say not too many people ever had two proposals by a man and a woman, and we can take that to the altar. Baby, let's get married. I just want to get married.
Geneva said, "Try getting proposed to while on vacation without being talked to about it. If I didn't say yes, I would have ended up on Dateline."
So you didn't talk about it, David? You just proposed?
No, she's not talking about me. She's talking about her ex.
Oh.
She's not talking about me. No, that did happen to her. And she said that she felt a little bit more she's taking the whole situation into consideration. All their friends were on this trip, all of them were together. It was like 10, 12 people on this trip, and he proposes, didn't talk to her about it. And so she felt pressured into saying yes because of the situation. My take is, I get where he's coming from, because I would never have I don't think that it's weird to me to have that conversation ahead of time. Like, you should, like, guys don't propose not knowing how she feels. You see what I'm saying? Like, they're not going to propose and be like, well, we'll see what she says. Like, I don't think that's how it is.
It shouldn't be that way.
Huh?
It shouldn't be that way, but maybe things have been rocky.
It shouldn't be.
Yeah.
He could have been doing it from a manipulative, position.
Right.
That's 100% possible. But I just was always under the impression that it's supposed to be a surprise. And if we have a conversation about it beforehand, it takes the surprise out.
It's how you do it, though. So you just casually Netflix and chill. What are your thoughts on marriage? Would you ever want to get married? You just do it like that, and then end the conversation and move on. So you have a mental note, and you both are in the same page. Because I just feel like that's risky business. Just what he did, that's very risky.
But that's the pressure that men are under, that women will never, well, handful of women have figured out, but that women will never have to worry about, is because that's not a common practice with women. I've been engaged one time, and the one time I was engaged, she told me, she said, if you propose, I would say yes. I wasn't even necessarily on that mind frame that that's where we were, but that's what she said. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, oh, I guess this is where we are, right?
Skirt.
And it was a dumpster fire, but at the same time, I just feel like culturally, I just feel like you just get to a point where you feel like, okay, we've been vibing, we've been good, everything's been great, blah, 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 everything's 100%, I'm gonna propose. Not, I wonder what she thinks. Let me ask her how she feels about marriage. Like, I feel like that's something that has probably come along more recently. Mm-hmm. Maybe because women got tired of being surprised. Right? Women got tired of being at work and the dude popping up with a dozen roses in the ring while she on her lunch break, and she, women got tired of that. Geneva says, so y'all talked about it. No, we didn't talk about it. Like, it wasn't a conversation. She was just like, this is how I feel.
But you knew. Because, like, what if somebody, like KP, for example, he just said he's not there. If he's dating somebody and she might be expecting that, and he might just not be there for other reasons, or that just might not be something he's ever interested in, I think the conversation needs to be slipped in somewhere.
Oh, yeah, for sure. For sure.
You have to, because I just think you're saving yourself and the other person some humiliation, and a lot of just weirdness, and maybe money.
Yeah, on the guy's part.
Yeah.
But KP, do you feel like you could see yourself being in a relationship and not knowing how she feels about going to the next level? Like, do you feel like after a year, 2 years, maybe 3 years in a relationship, you feel like, I could not know how she feels about getting married to me? or her spending the rest of her life with me? Like, do you feel like that's possible?
In my situation, no, I don't think that's possible. I think we
That's
would
what
have.
I'm saying. I don't think it's
Yeah,
possible.
I don't think it's possible. I mean, if all things align for me, I know people who watch this, or even Kadriana probably thinks like this fucking guy is some like playboy or something like that. I would love a relationship, but I'm not. I repeat, I am not going to sacrifice what I want in someone, regardless of how that looks to anyone else. I'm not going to sacrifice those things. So, with that being said, if myself and this person would have those conversations, if both of us want to be married, or that's not to say that, again, I may not want to be married now, but if I am with someone, I'm going to tell that person it's not something that I foresee myself doing. But that's not to say if me and this person are together for 2 or 3 years and, it feels right, I'm not saying that I would be opposed to it, but it's definitely not something that I would rush into.
See, but I think you guys are, when you say that you don't think the conversations need to be had, I feel like you're assuming.
No, I said it needs to be had.
Okay, because it needs to be. Where David, you don't think it needs to be, because I feel like you're assuming you know your partner really well, and you can never assume that though. People are different, and
I think the conversation needs to be had on the marriage factor for sure, even if it's just like, do you see yourself ever getting married?
Yeah,
and then,
right. But that's a conversation you have in the getting to know you phase.
Exactly.
I'm not saying 2 years in asking her, so how do you feel about marriage? It's you already in it at that point.
Okay, I see what you're saying now.
I'm saying that yes, like you know if that person in that person's mind if they want to get married, right?
So,
but what I'm saying is, I don't think there needs to be a conversation had where you say, "Hey, are you ready now?" Because that takes the fun out of proposing. Like at that point, you're just like, if she's like, "Yeah, you can propose anytime in the next 60 days," you go like, "Okay." Like,
no, I agree with you to an extent, but I think that throughout the 2 years or after, I think conversations would have been had throughout the time to where there's temperature checks throughout this time to say, hey, we had conversations when we were talking, when we were dating, that we didn't, that neither of us wanted to be married. Now that it's been 2.5 years, are we still feeling the same way? If we're still feeling the same way, then we're going to ride it out. If we're not feeling the same way, then that's a conversation that needs to be had. I don't think that that's going to change after 2.5 years or 2 years.
Brian said, why would you waste time being with someone without knowing where it's going? And yeah. I agree with that because I feel like during the course of a relationship, you're learning about that person. Y'all are growing together as a couple. So I feel like there shouldn't be a point in a relationship where you don't know where she stands emotionally.
But you never know. You never know. And people change, your feelings change throughout the course of the relationship. That's why I think it's important to still have those conversations. Yeah.
Geneva said a woman needs to have input, not just because they know doesn't mean it can't be a surprise.
Yeah. Because we could talk about this now, and then you could propose 8 months from now and still catch me off guard. Yeah. So you can have those conversations and still keep it a surprise.
Yeah, I agree with that.
What happened to the check-ins in a relationship?
That's what I said. Temperature checks. Yep. If you have really good communication and open communication,
then you shouldn't need a temperature check, right?
No, you do even more. You're even better at them.
It's more like you listen and you don't judge. Those kind of type of conversations. those temperature checks type of conversations. If I think that's the kind of relationship that I want, to where like my partner can come to me about any and everything, regardless of what it is. I want us to be able to talk through it and have that conversation, and regardless if it's going to make me mad or not, I want us to be able to talk through it. That's the kind of relationship that I want to foster.
Kadriana, I remember you saying that you have, now don't quote me on this, but you've been proposed to 3 times? 4 times. You've been proposed to 4 times.
Man.
In any of those situations, was a conversation had?
No. No.
And was it 0 for 4 or was it 1 for 3?
I don't think any of them had the conversation, because my ex-husband had said the reason he didn't have a conversation is because he knew that I would say no. And he knew that was not something I wanted, so he never brought up the marriage thing ever.
But then he proposed and you said
on the last minute, and I told you it was a weird situation. It was a weird one. But no, I had no idea. That's why I think they caught me off guard, because I was just like, this is not even where we are. Okay. Well, at least
he thought y'all were.
I don't see how, because we had conversations from day one where I had said it would take, it was not something I just desired, and it was just not something I wanted. That's obviously changed, because now I think I'm more like I want it now more that I'm older, but I just wasn't there.
Geneva said they catch you off guard to trap. No, that's the surprise is to make it special, not to trap you.
Yeah, but they weren't doing temperature checks, so they knew what they were doing. I don't think it was like to do a romantic surprise. I think it was just, I don't know.
Did you continue to see them after, or was that it?
So one, we attempted, but I just, it didn't feel right. And it was only like a couple weeks later, and then I ended it because it felt weird, because it feels like if you say no, the relationship shifts, and it was just, It was awkward. And I didn't think that we could go back on it, because I knew clearly he wanted to be married, and I didn't see him as somebody I wanted to marry.
Geneva said, nah, if they aren't checking in, they're trying to trap you. KP, if you propose to a girl, what'd you say?
I said Geneva's scorned.
she got some stories. KP, if you propose to a woman, let's say y'all been together, let's say 3 years, right? You share your life with this woman. Y'all live together. Y'all have traveled. It's been a great 3 years. You're the best 3 years. You propose. She say, I'm not ready. Do you think that changes the relationship after that?
I do. I think it would change the relationship, but I think that a part of me would ask myself, well, like, why didn't I know my partner better to know that she wasn't ready yet? I would I stay with my partner? I'm pretty sure I would.
Mm-hmm.
Would I potentially propose again?
You said she got to do the second one. I did the first time. You told me nah, so you got to do the second one.
Yeah, no, I don't know if I would. I don't know if I would take that leap of faith again.
But you feel like you could stay with her, but don't know if you could get to that point again.
Yeah, I think I would stay with her. I think I would stay with her.
But you want to be married. So you'll stay with somebody who's already told you that's not their thing. You don't think you would start to resent her?
Well, if she said that she's not ready, that's different than saying that it's not her thing. If I know that it's not her thing, I probably wouldn't have proposed to begin with. And then if she said it wasn't her thing, then again, we wouldn't probably be together. If I wanted to get married, then yeah, of course, yeah, it's going to change the relationship, but I would still stay with that person. Now, but I would know that person wanted, if that person was anti-marriage, I wouldn't have proposed to her to begin with, me personally.
Yeah. Well, as a woman, though,
knowing that you want to get married and she's anti, would staying with her build animosity? Now that you know.
Well, if I want to be married, yes, probably. But if I am someone who was, again, if we were both anti-marriage and then I got to a point where I wanted to get married and she wasn't ready yet, I would stay with her, because if we both want to get married, we just aren't ready yet. That's different comparatively, where if she never wants to get married, and I want to get married, then we have nothing to talk about after I tried to propose. But I would never propose because I would know that she's anti-marriage. Does that make sense?
But now that y'all have nothing to talk about in relation to the progression of the relationship, would you break up with her or would you stay with her?
If I originally wanted to be married, yes, I would. We would have to break up. If I wanted to eventually be married, yes, we would have to break up if that wasn't something that she ever wanted. Now, if we went in there together, not both wanting a marriage, and then I got to the point where I'm like, man, I would love for you to be my wife, and she was like, no, I'm not ready, we would have that conversation on if she could potentially get there. If she says no, then yes, we would have to part ways. But if she says, I'm not sure, then, to be honest with you, if that's a person that I love and I've been with, then that's a risk that I'm willing to take to wait a little bit longer.
I don't know. If somebody, the not sure, to me, is a nice way of her just saying she doesn't want to marry you.
Not sure and no are the same thing.
Yeah. And I'm not ready. That's just a no. That's a hard no. It's just a softer version of it.
See, I mean, again, like I can say right now, I'm not ready to be married, but I could easily, if I met the right girl, I wouldn't say no to it, because I would love a best friend. I would love that. I would love that. Love it.
Kadriana, do you feel like your idea, because you've already been married once, do you feel like your idea of marriage, that level of commitment, do you feel like your idea of that changes as you get older? Like, from the time that you were originally married to now, has your idea of marriage changed in the sense that you may see it in different forms now that you didn't see it before?
Yeah, absolutely. I think now, looking at it, I take marriage a lot more seriously than I did when I was younger. And I also think I'm more cautious of how I date, because I do know I would eventually like to get married again. But I also know, like, I jumped into it before. And so I think I take it more seriously now that I'm older than I did when I did it in my 20s.
Okay. Do you feel like the actual act of getting married is necessary, or do you feel like there's other forms of a relationship that will look the same to you, where you don't have to get technically married again, but we've been together forever, we live together, we share finances, we take care of the kids in the household, but we're not married, but it's the same?
I do see that some relationships can do that, and it's fine. But for me, I do think I will need to have the marriage, because I like that whole, I just like that traditional thing. But I do see some couples, and I think it's amazing. They do the partnership thing. I don't know what it's called, and they're fine without the paper. But for me, I think
the roommates.
no, I would like to solidify it.
Brian said, "Why stay with a woman that doesn't want you?" I feel like that's directed at KP. I feel like maybe he's saying like that doesn't want you at that level.
Yeah, I was gonna say, don't want me. I probably just got through drilling her before I proposed to her.
And then she said, "I'm not ready."
I'm not ready.
That
make it even worse. You got through going through the playbook, and she said, "Nah."
I'm sure I drilled her a couple days later after that.
KP, same question to you. Do you feel like, does it have to be marriage for you, or can it be just lifelong partnership? Do you feel like you could take lifelong partnership in place of a woman actually getting married to you?
Lifelong partnership. I'm not opposed to marriage, but a lifelong partnership is what I would prefer.
And why is that?
I mean, who needs a paper to who needs a paper to cement our love?
You sound like a woman that's trying to get out of a prenup.
Which I do think everybody needs to have. I think everybody needs one.
I agree.
It depends. If you're going into a marriage with a certain amount of assets that you already had when y'all were dating, then I agree. But if you didn't have those assets when y'all were dating, let's say you're in a 3-year relationship, right? And 2 years into the relationship, you come up with this great idea, you get a patent, it blows up, now you're a billionaire, and you and your girlfriend, y'all just still boyfriend and girlfriend, you decide to get married. Do I think you should get a prenup so that you can protect your assets in case the relationship doesn't work out? No, because she probably was there with you during the formulation of that. So unless you want to get tied up in, prenups are not necessarily ironclad anyway. Everybody go to court for whatever, regardless. So, Dr. Dre ex-wife could say, I was there when he was in the studio making all them songs, and I deserve half of that. And he ended up paying her hundreds of millions of dollars. So I think it kind of depends. If you feel like you have a fortune that you want to protect, I think it depends on when you got that fortune. If you got it during the relationship, I don't know if you need a prenup, because she gonna kind of be entitled to some of that.
You are very trusting, because you wear a seatbelt when you get in the car just in case. I think, I don't care if you don't have any money to your name, you should get a prenup. It's 2024 and people blow up overnight. And just because you were there for the buildup doesn't mean you're going to play it nice when the relationship goes sour. So I think the prenup is just to keep things fair when emotions are heightened and everybody's, the end of the relationship and you're mad at each other. I think everybody needs a prenup.
We finally agree. I agree with everything that she said. Verbatim. I agree.
So if you were in a relationship with a woman and she was coming, let's say who's a female celebrity that you think is ridiculously attractive?
Right now, I love me some.
Besides Sexy Red.
You know that chick from Power. Well, okay, I'll give you another one. I really like. I don't know. Zendaya.
Okay. I just watched Challengers this past weekend. Great movie. Great movie. So then you come across Zendaya and Scottsdale. Y'all start dating. Y'all hanging out. 2 years down the line, she say, let's take our relationship to the next level. You say, perfect, I'm with it. And she say, but before we do that, I need you to sign this paperwork that says you don't get anything if we divorce. But I also did one of the biggest movies of my career in these 2 years. And you don't get any of that. You would be okay with that.
I would.
Brian said, not if you're broke. 50-50 dude has nothing going into the marriage.
Oh my God. You're so dead.
No, but I think that kind of goes back to what we were talking about before. It's not that he needs her to go 50-50. He wants to see if she's going to do it to invest in the relationship. Because without her being there, he had to pay for the stuff anyway. He was 100-0 before she came along. And if she's coming into the relationship and he's saying, okay, what are you bringing? I don't think it's wrong to ask for some investment. I'm not saying it has to be 50-50.
And some people
clearly some men do not agree with the 50-50.
And some people are simps, you know?
No, I wouldn't call it. I would actually say I would think a man who is like that is more masculine than a 50-50 guy. I think a 50-50 guy to me wants to be a girlfriend or part-time, at least half the time.
Oh my God. Get out of here. You are ridiculous right now. You are being ridiculous right now.
So if the dude is not 50-50, he's 100-0. But everything else about him is not masculine. He still gets to the front of the line.
No, he's not. I said there's more than just the monetary, but it's hard when you have a guy who comes in, unless he's doing great stuff, everything else. But like, hey, P, you said you want to go 50-50. And then I'll never forget the friend conversation, how you're going to ditch your girl 6 months in for the home girl.
For the friend.
That's not like, that's a lot of red flags for a guy. So if a guy came to me like that, I would just be like, you know what? I'm sure there's a woman out there that is going to go 50-50 and be cool with this. But that's just not,
there is a woman that will go 50-50, and there is a woman who will go with a loyal man who will be loyal, who shows their loyalty.
But he's not loyal to her.
6 months? 6 months? I don't even know. 6 months, 8 months? I don't even know. I probably don't even know your parents in 8 months.
There are people who get engaged in 8 months.
They are stupid. They are stupid. Let's see how long that relationship lasts.
I feel like if you know, like
it was probably a dude who paid for it. It was probably a dude who paid for everything too.
When you get to a certain age, I would say when you know, you know.
Yo. Man.
Geneva said, clearly not loyal to her, just your friends.
No, my friend is also my family, so I'm loyal to family too. If I've known my friend forever and I've known this girl for 8 months, I'm gonna ride with my friend that I've known for my whole entire life. This girl can dump me tomorrow. You kidding me? That's called loyalty. Lion pride. Leos. That's what we're about. Geneva.
You said lion pride.
Kadriana. She's gonna drop her friend of 30 years and go with the dude who's gonna pay for dinner.
No, I just think that why not be with the girl that you're putting ahead of the girl that you're trying to get to know? You might as well just be with her. That level of loyalty is great.
You don't have any friends of yours of the opposite sex that you would go to the ends of the earth for?
Over my man? No.
Over someone you've been with for 6 to 8 months? That was the crux of the conversation.
No.
That is crazy.
No,
that is crazy.
A good friend would not put me in that situation. A good friend, I would not be in that situation.
We're not talking about if they would put you in a situation or not. We're talking about the simple concept. And we're not talking about getting married to the friend.
I'm sleeping with this guy. I'm trying to get to know, like, this is my man. You're a friend.
But it's one of your best friends that you've known
forever.
This is the guy
that I'm being intimate with and that I'm in love with or whatever. Like,
how can you be in love with someone in 6 to 8 months?
I think I could be in love with.
You don't think you're gonna be in love with somebody in 6 to 8 months?
No, yes, you don't even know someone, and you don't even know someone really well in 6 months. No way.
Yeah, absolutely, you can.
I guess if they're footing the bill for everything, that would make you fall in love a lot faster.
I think you could fall in love with somebody and probably.
Look up the average.
It depends on the relationship.
Look up the stats. Men fall in love within 3 months.
You don't truly know someone within a good 6 months. So
have you ever been in love, KP?
Yes, I've been in love. I've been with someone over 6 years before.
But were you in love?
I was totally in love with this person.
You thought you were in love.
I was in love. I was in love until I wasn't. So what do you mean? And I was with her for 6 years. So that's 6 years. That's not 6 to 8 months. I knew from her uncles down to everyone. I don't even know.
6 years, you guys never got married, or did you propose to her?
No.
6 years?
6 years. It was a college.
No, you're wasting people's time. That's a waste of time. 6 years, no way.
See, but that's the thing, though. That's the thing, though.
Y'all didn't have that conversation in 6 years?
No, we were in college. It was none of that. I'm not getting married in college, and B, I'm not doing that.
You mean from high school to college?
No, it was college and 2 years afterwards.
So 2 years after college, y'all didn't have that conversation?
No, we never had that conversation. We were in 2 different cities at one point for a while. No.
I feel like you just haven't met that girl yet.
I think so too. I agree with you.
I never said that I haven't. What?
Well, that's what we're saying. You're telling us that it's not possible, and we're saying it's not possible because you've never met that person that you.
What's not possible? I'm saying that no.
Fall in love within 6 to 8 months.
I'm telling you, no. What you don't understand is, you don't know. I am not falling in love with someone within 6 to 8 months. It's just not possible for me.
And what we're saying is, you're saying that because it hasn't happened yet.
I know it has. It won't happen. I won't allow myself to. I can't even feel like if I don't know someone's family, if I don't know. No, there's no way. I know someone who got married within 24 hours, and I'm like, are you fucking crazy? Oh, we were in love. Oh yeah, I'm sure you were.
But how can you dismiss? You don't know. We clearly don't agree on the same stuff. So I could fall in love way differently than you would fall in love. I believe it is possible. I absolutely believe it is possible.
Just like
I 100% think that I believe in love at first sight.
I do.
Some people might say it's lust.
I do too.
But if you give it a month, 2 months, 3 months, I think you could fall in love with somebody in 3 months.
Mm-hmm.
No, says the person who was incompatible with her husband for 7 years, and you're telling me that you love.
But I wasn't, and that's the thing. I'm self-aware enough to know I was young. I made a bad decision, And I can say that just because it happened that way with him, it's not going to happen that way with every man. You're sitting here, you put a wall up. It's not happening. I'm not doing it. So it will never happen as long as you say that, because you're not going to allow yourself to let
because I don't think that I don't think that, in my personal opinion, again, I'm my opinion. You will. That's okay. I'll be loyal and alone. I'll be loyal and alone.
You just said you wanted to find your partner, your whatever.
But I'm not. I'm not settling. I'm not settling. I'm not gonna fall in love with someone in 6 months, because I'm not gonna allow myself to without getting to know that person.
You don't think you can get to know somebody in 6 months?
No, I don't think you can truly know someone to say that I'm in love with this person. I'm truly in love with this person within 6 months. I just don't think you can.
I feel like you would. I feel like you would think it, and you'd be like, you'd stop yourself. You'd be like, nah.
No, you can say
I haven't met her.
I love this person.
Her uncle yet.
You can say I love this person. You can say, yes, I love this person. I love Molly. I love her. But am I truly in love with her in 6 months, 6 to 8 months? I don't think that it's true if you can say that you truly fell in love with someone within 6 to 8 months.
If it happened,
no one hurt
would
me.
you let it happen?
I'm sorry?
If it happened, would you let it happen?
It can happen at any time.
That's what I'm saying. Let's say tomorrow you go to work, you meet a chick at work, you're like, she cool. Y'all start hanging out, y'all start going out, y'all start dating, y'all start going to dinners, blah blah blah. You clapping cheeks, it's great, everything is perfect, and you 4 months in, you're like, I love this woman. Are you gonna let it ride, or are you gonna stop yourself and be like, nah, it's only been 5 months, I'm tripping?
No, it's no. I like I said, I feel like you can love someone within 6 months.
I'm talking about in love. Like,
no,
if you felt like you were in love, would you stop yourself from falling in love with that person?
No, I don't think there's a such thing.
Because it hasn't happened to you yet.
What do you mean? So, I've been in love recently. I've never been in love
that quick. That's what we're saying is you can't say it'll never happen to you because you never had it. But
if you can't say that it can't happen to me. You can't.
But it can happen to other people. You're saying that no, there's no way they're in love.
I didn't say that.
Saying, yeah,
I said me personally. I said it, in my personal opinion, for me, it will never happen. It can't for me. Now, if you want to fall in love with someone after 2 or 3 weeks, by all means. You said you fell in love with someone. I don't know, how can that be? I mean, are you spending every day with this person? How can you literally fall in love with someone? How much time are you spending with someone if just
every day?
Huh?
Let's say you see them every day.
So then I would question.
See, you stopping yourself. This is what I'm saying. You're putting up a wall.
I would question, what are you doing otherwise to be spending so much time with said person?
That's easy. You go to work, you hang out, you see each other at night, like you do dinners, like that's easy.
Man, I agree with you. It's easy for the right person. But I still don't think that you can, in my personal opinion, for me, there's no way that I am falling in love with someone without truly getting to know them and feeling that way, with saying I'm in love with you. I think in love is a different ball game than just loving someone.
True, 100%.
Yeah, so you're not going to do it in 4 months. So then when will you allow yourself to even think that? So what is your timeline?
There's no timeline. I feel like whenever... You just
said that there was no 4 months. So there is a timeline.
There's a minimum. I think I said, you truly don't get to know someone, I think, the first 6 months. That's my standard. I don't think you truly get to know someone until at least after 6 months of a lot of time spent together. That's why I think, me personally, I don't think that I can fall in love with someone within 6 months. And I've spent every day with someone for multiple months, and we weren't in love. I love this girl. She ended up being my girlfriend, we ended up being in love, but I don't think you can, me personally, I just in love is different.
Felix said 4 months, nah, never. Shout out to Felix.
Thank you, Felix. Thank
Felix
you.
said,
Thank you.
ain't no way.
Talk to your boy Brian over here. Brian's just like this. Fine.
Brian said, living in fear of being hurt isn't a very fulfilling existence. And I agree with that. I 100% agree with what Brian said
because that's what it sounds like. It just sounds like walls and fear, and it just doesn't sound like because like I'm mind blown that you don't think you can know somebody in 6 months. So then I'm questioning, what is the conversations looking like? And if you think that people are you guarding yourself within the first 6 months and they're not seeing who you really are? Because to me, that's crazy to assume that for 6 months, somebody is going to have like a mask on and you're not going to have an idea of things or get to know them.
I mean, to each his own. If you're free to give away your heart the way that you want to, by all means.
So why aren't you free to give away your heart?
It just doesn't go to anyone.
So if you met the right woman who did all the right things in 3 months,
I don't see it. I just don't see it. And like I said, I've met someone who I thought that I was going to be with, spent every day with her, loved her, probably faster than I should have, but I was never in love with her within six months. I wasn't in love with her.
Geneva said he got a soft heart behind that rough exterior. He got walks, sending you hugs.
Geneva, I'm just keeping it real. Hey, the truth is never meant to be with disrespect. So I'm sorry.
Oh, he got walls, sending you hugs.
Clearly, Felix said he agrees with me.
Felix don't make it right.
Felix married his wife after 3 months, so I don't know what he's talking about.
Did he?
Nah, he ain't really did.
What?
But Felix is also Dominican, and they are a love culture. So Felix will have you believing that he waited. Felix ain't wait. Felix ain't wait. Felix knew he was gonna marry her within 6 months. I guarantee you.
Felix, if you're watching right now, how long did it take you to fall in love with the woman that you are married to right now? Please.
I guarantee.
Type in.
You say, wait, what? Felix knew within 6 months that he was going to marry his wife. I guarantee it. He may have waited to ask, but he knew.
Felix, talk to your boy. Before we wrap this up, talk to me. I want to know how long it took you to fall in love with her.
He said he's not married. Okay, with his life partner. I don't know. How long did you know? He said, and no, you are wrong. Nah, Felix,
Felix, how long? Is the chat's not popping up on the thing.
He said, and no, you are wrong. How long, Felix?
How long, Felix? Be honest.
He said more than a year. Felix out here lying. He out here lying to the people.
Felix, my guy. Felix, my guy.
Felix out here lying to the people.
Hey, I mean, again, to each his own,
And we're not saying that you're wrong. I think me and Kadriana are just saying Cupid haven't hit you yet in that 3 month span. So to you, it's foreign. Your mind doesn't wrap around it because it just haven't happened to you yet.
Oh, I just pulled the stats. I had to get the stats because, I'm a data girl. So men fall in love in the average of 88 days. Women, 134. And according to a study that Match.com did, 55% of people fall in love within the first 3 months.
55%.
55%. So it's happening. Just
People
not
still
to
use-
you, KP.
People still use Match.com. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
What?
Where do you think the grannies go to meet their man?
I thought that's like
Christian
eHarmony.
Christian
That's like
Mingle.
eHarmony. Is that still around? You should have got stats from there too.
And 41% of men believe in love at first sight, and only 29% of women.
That's probably true.
So yeah.
I mean, I feel like those are probably on par. Those are probably on par. You said what percent of men fall in love?
And so 55% of people fall in love the first 3 months, but men, it takes the average of 88 days to say I love you.
Wait.
So about 2.5 months.
2.5 months.
What's the question?
So I pulled ChatGPT because I wanted everything. I said, give me the stats on the time frame for falling in love based on studies and surveys.
And it said what?
It said men fall in love.
The average of 88 days. Women take 134 days. Yeah. And around 41% of men believe in love at first sight.
So it sounds like women are the ones with the walls up.
Exactly. We
sitting up here talking about KP, Kadriana. Maybe we need to be talking about you.
But it doesn't happen often, so I agree with him. But I do believe that when it does happen and you meet that person, you can fall in love fast.
In 4 months?
Yeah, I
think so. 120 days?
I believe so.
4.5 months?
Mm-hmm. Because I think you got to take into consideration age plays a factor as well. So a 20-year-old is probably not going to fall in love as fast as somebody in their late 30s or 40s because they don't know as much as what they want. They're still trying to figure it out. Where somebody who's already been there, done that, they know what they are looking for and what they don't want.
Yeah, it's easier for them at that point because they've already weeded through the undesirables at that point. KP, I feel like it's gonna happen for you in 2025. I'm wishing that for you. I'm wishing that you meet a chick in probably like February.
Yeah, after the 14th.
So she doesn't spend $5,000.
So you don't have to spend $5,000 on Valentine's Day. She don't spend $5,000 on Valentine's Day.
I need to find out when the birthday is too. So then
after that.
Yeah, then after that.
And then by beginning of April.
If she has kids, if she has kids, then I gotta wait till after Mother's Day. Oh man, I'm just joking. Yeah, man. If it happens, it happens. You know, if
you're open to it, you're open to it.
Of course, I'm 1,000. I've been open to a relationship.
No. I'm talking about you're open to fall in love in 3 months.
No, I'm not. I'm not. No. I'm open to a relationship for sure.
So what if she tells you she loves you before 3 months or at the 3-month mark? Are you just going to say thank you?
Thanks.
Are you going to keep going while she's saying I love you every day and you're just looking at her awkwardly?
She said, KP, I feel like I've seen everything I need. You it for me. I love you. I love you.
I'm going to say it. I mean, honestly, I don't know. I was trying to think of something clever to say, but I couldn't think of enough.
He's just say, I love you too, baby. I love you too.
No, I'll probably just kiss her.
Especially if it's in the throes of passion, it may slip out. I love you too, boo.
No, I'll probably just kiss her just so I don't have to say it. And then if it's through text, I'll probably just do the heart emoji.
Oh no!
Or do one of these.
Ladies, he's just kidding.
Right.
He doesn't mean that.
Okay, Caitlin Clark.
What does Caitlin Clark have to do with it?
Because she be doing that.
Oh man.
All right. Well, another great episode. Felix got one last comment. Felix said, "Don't say it back." We said, "Don't say it back. We'll love her and in love with her different." Yes, those two things are very different.
Yeah.
Those two things are 100% different. Um, another great episode. Another great episode. Nobody called in to get this prize, man. I had the prize ready. Nobody called in to get the prize. It's crazy. But we did have quite a few viewers today, so hopefully they like and subscribe. Everybody like and subscribe. Share. Tell your friends. We will be back. Actually, next week is Christmas, so we will not be on next week. The week after that is New Year's. We will not be on that Wednesday either. So the next time we see y'all, we're going to be well into 2025. Okay, we're going to be off for the next 2 weeks. We're going to see you guys in 2025 with some revamps, some new things going on as well. We got to get somebody to call in. I don't know what we got to do. I'm over here giving away prizes. Nobody called in. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But in 2025, we're going to be launching merch. We will have Cabrini Kid Podcast merch. In 2025, we're also going to be doing some on location filmings. So we may be coming out to California where Kadriana is. We for sure going to be in Scottsdale doing something. We also going to be going abroad too. We're trying to lock that in right now as well. So stay tuned for those announcements. So Felix said off why? Because it's Christmas and New Year's. We want people, we want the cast to be able to get with their families, have the time they can get with their families. We're not gonna be sitting here entertaining y'all while y'all not on the podcast eating and opening presents. So we're gonna be off and y'all gonna be off. So KP, anything that you want to say before we get out of here for 2024?
Man, let's keep this rolling. 2024, this is the end. I won't see you guys until 2025. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Thank you so much. I look forward to 2025, and I have a few resolutions. One is I won't drink in 2025, and two is I won't smoke bud in 2025. So on to bigger and better things, clarity, just to make sure I'm clear with a clear mind in 2025. Mm-hmm. I appreciate Kadriana, for joining. And I appreciate David for allowing me this opportunity to join his podcast. So thank you so much, David. And I look forward to 2025. And hopefully someone will call in. Hopefully we'll get more people to like and subscribe. And we can make this thing get popping. Thank you so much. I still love you, ladies.
Kadriana, do you have anything you want to say to us? And you know what? As I'm looking at my calendar, maybe we could do something on the 30th of December. That's a Monday. We might do like a special edition right before the New Year's. But do you have anything that you want to say before we get out of here?
Yeah, I just want to say that thank you, David. Like KP said, I'm so happy to be here with you guys. It's a lot of fun, and I hope everybody has a safe and healthy, happy holidays. And don't forget to like and subscribe. And we'll see you at the end of this year, maybe next year.
Yeah, either the 30th or sometime after that. So
that on.
Geneva said, "Open to being in love. Put that on your list." That's for KP.
It's been
Open
on.
that heart up.
It's been open.
But you still have those walls. You got to let
Yeah.
some of them down.
I need
Some
them.
of them have to come down.
I need them to let some of their walls down too.
Brian said, "KP will be in love by the next episode."
Yep, we're sending that. We're all putting that on you.
Hey, right, and he may not and he may not even tell us if he is, because he
won't.
I can't say nothing. It's too soon. It's too soon. I can't say nothing.
Hey, in the words of the legendary philosopher, I forgot his name. That's a no for me, dog.
Randy Jackson.
Randy Jackson.
That's a no for me.
All right, yeah, it's been another great episode. We're at 19 episodes. I think we're gonna do the 30th. It's gonna be a special episode we might do on the 30th before we get out of here, so we can hit an even 20 for the season. And then come back in 2025. I am so thankful for Kadriana for accepting our invitation to join us to kind of give us a female perspective and a more knowledgeable perspective as well. Super, super, super thankful for KP for hopping in and being my co-host here. So I love what we've built so far. I'm excited to see what we can continue to build going forward. So I definitely thank you both for participating in this, taking time out, once a week. Today we're about to hit 2 hours right here to end 2024. So definitely thank both of you guys, and I thank everybody that's liked and subscribed, that shared, that's commented on the post, that's interacted in the comments. Geneva, Brian, Felix,
Hey, Brian, about to get excommunicado.
Katie, Stephen, everybody that's commented, Josh, trying to think who else off the top of my head. Everybody that's commented, all your boys from the Midwest, KP that popped in as well. So we appreciate everybody's participation, and we're gonna be bigger and better in 2025. So I'm looking forward to it.
Hey, appreciate the homies. Appreciate y'all. Appreciate the homies.
Brian, call me.
Oh, that makes more sense. That makes more sense. That makes more sense.
He's a plant. He's an industry plant.
Yeah. I knew that makes more sense. I knew that was a little that. I knew that banter was a little. Yeah, hey, I need my people to get in here because y'all need my boys to get in here. So yeah, okay, Kadriana, I see what you're doing.
Wait, I'm just shooting my shot. Don't be surprised at 2025 if I'm an honest woman.
Nah, yeah. You don't stay on the market too long, so.
Hey, make sure you cover your pockets, fellas.
Oh my God! Don't worry about it. I got it if you don't, but I would prefer if you did.
She got the 50 if you don't got the 50. So. All right, so we checking out. Like I said, no show next week. But we're gonna be back on the 30th. I'm saying it now. We're gonna be back on the 30th to give y'all one more episode before we get out of here for 2024. So we'll see everybody in a couple of weeks. And thank you. Like, subscribe, share. Tell your friends to tell a friend. And we will see everybody in a couple of weeks.
All right.
Peace. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas.